Hi there, this is John, and welcome to another edition of Old Guy Career Change. I'm here to talk about a possible third act career for me, namely becoming a watchmaker. A watchmaker repairs, refurbishes, and cleans high-end mechanical and quartz watches. Think of Rolex, Breitling, IWC, Blancpain, etc. The watches can have as many as 1,000 very small parts. Work is done using a magnifying loupe or a microscope. Customized machinery is used to create replacements for broken or worn parts that are no longer available from the manufacturer, and there are special processes used to polish cases. All of this is demanding and exacting work done in a clean lab or office setting. Why am I thinking about becoming a watchmaker? To recap, I was laid off in January, started a traditional full-time job search, and had difficulty getting traction. I've given up now on full-time software employment because of what I would call a creeping malaise about the software industry. So now I have two paths. I have a software consulting company that's doing pretty well. I have 2 paid gigs. I could put lots of energy into it and I could grow it. Or I could leave software engineering completely and choose some other new path, some other new career at age 66. For this, I've done self-assessments and thought about what I ought to do to maximize my happiness and well-being. So I've already considered and ruled out one possible career, that of becoming a vet tech. If you want more details on any of this, see the previous videos in this channel. The results from the self-assessments led me to consider being a watchmaker as another possible occupation. Watchmaking checks off a number of the important boxes from the self-assessments. These are either transferable skills or they're things or actions which give me a sense of enjoyment and fulfillment. A good question to ask is, how does watchmaking compare to the occupation of a vet tech? And you might think that's a funny question to ask because, of course, working on mechanical watches is very different from working in a veterinarian practice. The reality, though, is that we are satisfied by many different things in our lives, and there are different facets to our personalities, and so an occupation can satisfy one aspect of what we want, and other aspects will have to be satisfied by other means. In my case, vet tech and mechanical watches are 2 very different occupations, but they are interesting to me and attractive to me for different reasons. From the self-assessment, some of the suggested objectives for me were satisfied by both paths, and some were satisfied by only one or the other. But these boxes are not all equal. Maybe you don't need to make a list like this, but the way my mind works, it helps me to compare the alternatives and get them straight in my own head. The thing that I take away is that I can now quantify how they're different and which needs will be fulfilled by each occupation. No job can check all the boxes. What we want to do is find a job that will check a good number of them and know which boxes we're going to need to fulfill through other means, like a hobby. There are other aspects of this career choice that are intriguing. I'm crawling a little bit out on a limb here because I don't work as a watchmaker yet, but I think the ageism issue should be less of a problem. An older dude in a white lab coat repairing a very high-end watch, I think, is an easy sell. I could change my given name to Jacques to have more impact. In a nearby, highly regarded watch technology program, the majority of its students are taking it in preparation for a second or third career. Now, what does that tell you? They're adults with adult responsibilities. 2, this occupation offers the prospect of starting a web-based send in your watch to get it fixed and refurbished sort of company. I own fountain pens, and I got 2 of my fountain pens repaired that way. And I don't know if the financials would pencil out, maybe just be walking around money, but it's at least a possibility, and I'm keeping it in the back of my mind. 3, there's the prospect of going to a flea market, an estate sale, an antique store, and finding broken watches, restoring them, and selling them. Again, the financials might not pencil out, but maybe it would be walking around money, and it could be a lot of fun. 4, comparing this occupation to what I think it would be like to software engineering is instructive. There should be very few meetings. No taking your work home, because all of the delicate equipment that you need to repair and refurbish a watch is in the office. There won't be any P0 incidents during lunchtime because production is down, because some engineer released her code without adequately testing it. There's no pager duty. There's no quarterly projections for upper management. So if you get the picture, there are a lot of aspects to traditional software engineering development that frankly don't exist at all in watchmaking. And all of that is very, very enticing. So how do you get educated in this field? The nearest educational center to me for this is at North Seattle College. They have something called the Watch Technology Institute. As far as I can determine, it's highly regarded. This week, I toured the classrooms and met with the facility coordinator. They teach watch technology, mechanical watch movements, and also the manufacturing of replacement parts. Again, because if something is broken inside of a watch, its replacement part may no longer be available, and so you have to machine it yourself. Way cool. They offer certificate and associate's degree programs. The associate's degree program has all the classes that the certificate program has, along with associate's level classes, English and math and such. The program is about 2 years and costs about $20,000, maybe $22,000. They're taking applications now for the fall 2025 cohort, which means I'd enter in the fall of 2025. Here's the best timeline as far as I can tell. The WTI program runs from the fall of 2025 until the summer of 2027. And so I exit that program with a certificate in watch technology. I then take a SATA, that's Swiss American Watchmakers Training Alliance, certification exam and get certified. SATA is one of the international certification organizations. Most likely before certification, I'd start working in a service center, watch store, jewelry store, or timepiece repair shop. So I'd be in the game at age 70. I'm very interested in this path. As the kids would say today, it would slap. It would be sick. It would be lit. It would be a bet. I would be baller. I say these things because I am in vibe with the younger generations. Watchmaking doesn't have the downsides of the vet tech occupation, but it does have a few of its own. One, more certifications and training would be in my future, for sure. This is about learning about other watch movements, maybe other manufacturers' movements, more advanced techniques. All of that would be fantastic, but it would require a time investment. It's mechanical work featuring physics, microscopes, and small parts, right? So I'll have to see how I deal with this. The third thing is, aside from my own company and side gig, I don't see that there'd be a lot of opportunity for remote work. In fact, I don't see any opportunity for remote work. And the fourth risk is that the WTI program is very competitive, and there's a non-zero probability that I wouldn't get in. All of these downsides are manageable, and all of them are internal to my own head as opposed to being imposed on me by external opinions. So here's my current status. I formally applied to the WTI program, and I'm now supplying additional application information. There's another program nearby called the Norwest School of Horology. They hold watch technology classes at night. I'll take their first 3 watch technology classes from the fall of 2024 through the summer of 2025. 2 reasons for doing this. One, they'll confirm whether I'm cut out for this occupation. And secondly, they'll give me an advantage so that when I start the WTI program in the fall of 2025, I will have already had exposure to the beginning classes of dealing with watch technology and working on watches. If I can't get into the Norwest night school classes, then there are other online classes that I could try taking. I am also discussing my plans with 4 graduates of WTI. I found them through LinkedIn, sent them a LinkedIn message, and they responded. So far, they've confirmed the validity of my plans. That's very, very reassuring. I'm also meeting, in fact, I'm meeting tomorrow over breakfast with a friend who's an amateur horologist. I'm going to continue evaluating other career paths, but right now this one feels really good to me, and frankly, I want to go for it, and so I am going to go for it. I'll keep you posted on my progress here. Till next time, take care. And now I'm supposed to say, please like this and hit the subscribe button and ask me any questions in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you next time.